Hey, what's going on, family? The Caffeine and Creators podcast is brought to you in part by Emil Coffee, fueling the world's determination to excel with every sip. What is going on, everybody? It is X here. I almost said your boy X, but don't you get tired like when people be like, "Hey, it's your boy." It's like, no, I'm not. Y'all might not know me, and I'm not. I'm definitely not everybody's boy for sure. But it's X.
What it do?
It's X here. You are now watching Caffeine and Creatives. I am locked in here where we like to talk to creative minds about trying times and the caffeine that wakes them up and keeps them going. That is what we talk about here on Caffeine and Creatives. To my right today, I have, what's going on?
What's up?
The incomparable,
Ooh,
the multifaceted, multi-hyphen,
thank you.
the only ukulele player I know personally, actually, now that I think about it. I have yet to meet anybody in my entire lifetime that plays ukulele.
Wow. Dang. I feel like I started the movement, but then I realized there's a whole old people club all over the world that plays ukulele, and they have these like folk fests. And I found out, I thought I was the only one, but they out there. So you might
Don't give us too much because I want to ask you about the ukulele.
I got you.
I actually have that written down. I was like, we have to touch that. But Ari Chi,
Yes, it's me.
how you been?
I've been good. Getting adjusted to this cold weather, you know.
Yes, because you are Tampa, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Tampa.
Yes.
Born and raised.
I was born here, actually, in Atlanta.
You were born here?
Yeah, but I was raised in Tampa, Florida.
When did you move to Tampa?
When I was like a few years old, so.
So you from Tampa?
I'm from Tampa. Yeah, I'm from Tampa.
You from Tampa. I feel it.
But I claimed Atlanta when I was in school.
Why does everybody do that?
I was born in Atlanta, ATL.
I feel like everybody always wants to. They want to claim anywhere but where they're at. Like, especially in middle school. And middle school was the biggest one. Like, it's the biggest flex. If your family is from anywhere else other than
my first email was ATL Wiz, and I didn't even know what ATL looked like.
ATL Wiz. Bro, mine was, I'm not even gonna say
Yahoo.
what my first.
Yahoo.
It was Yahoo. It was Yahoo too, but it's like, I don't even want to say what my first email was.
That's funny.
I was claiming something.
Right. We was wild.
But yeah, you are here on Caffeine and Creatives.
Yes, I am.
I had you come to the show, one, because you're the homie. Two, because there's a lot that we can unpack. We're not gonna get too deep, but you fit the perfect archetype of the type of creative mind that I like to have on the show, right? In the game, like almost, I don't want to say professionally necessarily, but pursuing and being seen by the public for a decade.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Have you thought about that yet?
It's wild. I feel like my first live performance was 2015. So
6 years ago.
yeah, and then I've always been singing.
That wasn't Hard Rock Cafe, was it?
That was it was the Orpheum in Ybor, which just closed. Sad times, but yeah, it was for Mu Magazine Awards in Tampa.
Okay.
And it was awesome.
How close was that in your Hard Rock Cafe performance?
Like the same year, yeah. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah,
See, I told you.
Yeah, same year.
All right, so I was about to say I dug back. What I like to do, especially for like, I consider us like, I feel like millennials is like broken into like two sections.
Sure. For sure.
So
yeah.
We're like on the top millennial chain.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the interesting thing about like our generation of millennials is we started the internet sensationalism.
What?
Like putting yourself out there and all of that good stuff. But we have probably the most, what is the word? The most like valid receipts when it comes to internet, because we're the only generation that has proof on the internet from that long ago.
It's crazy.
Like everybody, I feel like most of the people that are doing and blowing up now, like their receipts go back maybe 4 years, maybe 4 years at the most.
Yeah, my archive's looking thick. You know
Archive, man. I watched, you know what I watched earlier today?
Right.
I watched a cover of you
Oh,
doing Just Hold On, We're Going Home by Drake.
Oh man, I was in Canada when I did that
Yes.
joint. Yeah, that was like I think that was my first
That's the
cover.
That is the oldest and first cover on YouTube.
Yeah, that was my first
I did
YouTube
back
upload.
Yes.
It was cold as hell. I just remember being out there cold as fuck singing. But yeah, nah. Wow, you dug deep.
I did.
Sheesh, I'm cringing.
I looked at that. I was like, man, that was, hold up. I got it written down too. That was 8 years ago.
Yeah. That was wild.
8 years ago. That was your first YouTube upload.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw, what else I say? I went through your YouTube for sure.
Gosh, I gotta
And
clean
then
that
I
thing
saw.
up.
And then, no, you have to keep. That's
That's why I did it,
I'm about to
though,
say you gotta keep it up there.
The progress is crazy.
Yes. And then I saw. So I'm gonna go through like a couple benchmarks of what I
Right.
noticed, and then I want you to explain to me the where you were at in life and what that transition was for you. So we started at the Drake. Just Hold On, We're Going Home on YouTube. First YouTube upload 8 years ago, right? And then we went to your first original with Mayweather.
Wow.
Right.
Sheesh. It's my first music video ever.
First music video ever, right? Which was 6 years ago.
Yep.
And then you corrected me on this before because I don't think the other performance was your other performance on there before the Hard Rock?
No, actually, that's somewhere on somebody's YouTube channel. I can't find it, but
True.
Yes, it's out there. It's floating.
It's floating in
if you look hard enough.
But that was also 6 years ago.
Yes.
And then we turn around and we have like a break through the fourth wall with your Timmy Turner.
Yeah,
cover.
that was when stuff changed for me. Like,
So
yeah,
explain to me where you were at, what place in life were you from Canada, Ari Chi, to Timmy Turner?
So when I uploaded my first YouTube video, I was just starting to get into music. I mean, I went to school for music all through middle school and high school, but like original music or like anything outside of opera, because opera was what I studied before.
I did not know that.
Yes, and there is YouTube videos, and I'm not telling you.
That makes a lot of sense though, because based on your me being a fan, based on your choice of like your vocal capability and your choice of melody and how you write musically,
Sheesh.
opera makes you make so much. You need to tell people that more.
Classical training I got a classical training session once a week, one-on-one for 4 years during high school.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Miss Eubanks. She's the truth. But yeah, so going from that in school, I had just graduated high school in that Drake cover. I had just started working with my first team ever who was like, you're good. We're going to buy you all this equipment and we're going to put you in the studio. And they became homies for forever. But, you know, it was just all new to me. And so they encouraged me to put on some YouTube videos. So I was in Canada and had some free time. And I had just got my first like big ukulele compared to like the tiny, like this my first ukulele. It was literally like this big. It was a little green ukulele. And so I had just got like a decent sounding ukulele. And so from there, I was just like writing my own music at that time. Never really been in the music studio before. Hadn't really performed before. And then, you know, 2015, performed for the first time. And actually, let me correct myself because 2014, at the end of 2014, I performed at a going away party that a lot of people saw me at. And then 2015 was my first like real performance on a stage and like, you know, and so from there I just kept getting bookings. And 2016 I finally started to get paid for I didn't know you could get paid for performing. I was doing it solely because I love to do it, but somebody was like,
which is you should.
I feel like that. So somebody actually had to be like, what's your rate? And I was like, rate? What you talking about, rate? And they were like, you do all this for free? Because I swear, after my first show in 2015, it was like, it was just the right place at the right time, because people from Miami, Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete was all there in one room. So I ended up just getting lots of calls to do all these different events. And by 2016, I was performing for a living. Like, I quit my job in 2016, you know, me and Brody started dating at the end of 2015. So we kind of was like on that, you know, nomad, like freelance artist life, you know, struggling, but creating and loving life. And then 2017, I got a call from one of the homies, and they were like, listen to this song and learn it. It just dropped today. And it was the designer. Didn't know what the hell he was saying, so I had to look. I had to look. Shout out to designer. He's cool. I fuck with him. But I didn't know the song. You know, I was told to do this cover, and that's back when I was doing covers heavy. And so I did it, and the homie Farnham, he actually brought me into a studio to do that. That was my first like mic'd up.
Yeah.
Good quality.
I know, and I noticed that difference. I was like, I didn't know how much of, because the first time I saw that cover was after the designer replay.
Right.
Because what was that on?
That was on MTV. On MTV. I think they stopped doing that and they took a lot down. I don't know if it had to do something with like copyrights and none of my business. True. But it was fun while, like, you know, it was
but the first time I saw it was that. So I didn't know how much of that was like, okay, I'm gonna do this for like, it's not like now where it's like, oh, you did this Instagram TikTok challenge and
it had
you
been
won
out.
It
It had been out for a while. And funny, I was coming back from Canada when I got the call about the MTV thing. So it was like, shout out to Canada, my whole family.
I was about to say, there's something. I was about to say, what is it? What is your connection to Canada? Just to
my mom's Canadian, and she's our family's from Italy on that side. So my entire Italian family lives in Canada. So up until 2020, we were going there like once, twice a year, and so it's just ironic that a lot of the firsts for me was coming back from Canada or being in Canada. But so it was my first high quality cover. Shout out to Farnham. And we did a few of those, but that was the one that hit. Like, I think it was just because it was like the first day it dropped, because it was a freestyle he did. It wasn't even like a song like, and we did it in the black and white, like he did the freestyle. And people loved it, and like to this day people are still doing like remixes in Germany and stuff. Like, that thing has
300K views right now.
That's crazy. Like, there's one that has like, I don't know if you saw the Norway one, but it's like DJs and they've been just doing lots of remixes, and it's like they'll take designer, then a clip of my cover, and then like mix it in with their mix. So all collectively, that joint has mills, and I'm like, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it was a super, super huge blessing for me, because I feel like people kind of took me a little bit more seriously than just like the little ukulele girl who plays ukulele. And so that's really the timeline between those two videos.
That's dope. So right after that, you're starting to see what success looks like for you from a larger, I guess the word I want to use is like untouched audience.
Yes.
Because up to then it's like you have a lot of supporters, but it's all from like touching and being in front of the people. You know what I mean? That's your bread and butter is like, if any of y'all haven't seen this woman perform live.
Man, that's my shit. The stage is my passion.
Right. So it's like, so after that happens, you're starting to see like, okay, I can touch all these people that I haven't even been in front of yet.
Yes.
So what is going through your mind from like how to, if you are at all thinking about like how do you capitalize off of that moment, or what is your?
It was overwhelming because like before MTV hit me up, the cover was doing so good on its own. So it was just like dope. All these people like it. Oh wow, people are mean on YouTube. People are nice on. Like I kind of got a gist of what being in the public eye was really like. And then when the MTV collab happened, I saw like just so many people who like had never really paid much attention, and I just realized that like, you know, I just got to keep working. Like I'm very hard on myself, so I enjoyed the moment for a second, and then I was like, all right, what else? Because, you know, this is only going to last so long, you know, and so yeah, I was able to get a taste of what, you know, my art could do, and it was definitely motivating. It was motivating.
So I love your story personally, because the stuff that I pay attention to, stuff that you don't see, right?
I believe it.
Not the stuff that you don't see as an artist, but like I'm asking in my mind, I'm asking the questions of like, all right, I see this consistency, I see like this big like that was the one,
Yeah.
and then I see a void, and then you come back. We're gonna hit that, but what happens after? Like, what is in that gap of space before? Because right after that, I see like not so many covers. I don't really see too many live performances and shows. It's like, all right, well, is she riding? Some people, it's like you see, it's like, all right, well, are they just riding this wave and promoting that big hit? Trying to see what connections that's going to make. But a lot of times it's something else. What was the case for you?
So I'm trying to think back to that time. After I uploaded that video, I had moved to Orlando. So being in a new city where they don't really pay their artists, performers. Some people do, don't get me wrong. But majority in Orlando, I mean, I know you know.
I came up in Orlando.
I know you know. So it's like 30 artists on one bill. It's just stuff I wasn't used to. So we lived there for 3 months on a studio compound. It was a really dope experience, but we ended up moving back. And then I started doing a lot of cover gigs. So I wouldn't really like post about it because it wasn't original music. So that period of time that you're talking about, I was really just getting bread, singing covers at restaurants and bars. So things that I really wasn't like, oh yeah, this is dope, let me post about this. It was more so,
you had to go back and get
hey,
it out the
check me out here. You know, I'll be at such and such bar singing from, you know, whatever. And then, you know, Cody and I had started street performing. So that was a really big part of like what we were doing in 2016, 2017, and 2018. So it was more so just like off social media and more focused on like making a living. And the only way I was really able to do that was to sing songs that I didn't really want to. And I got burnt out off covers. I just, because I was doing it every like 3 times a week, I didn't want to upload nothing on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I was over it. You know, covers really was never my thing. It was more so, you should do this, you should do this, you should do, and I got sick of it. And then 2017 was when I dropped my first album, Colorful, which isn't online right now, but it will be.
And it's amazing.
So if you've heard it, I mean, you can find it online. It's just not on every streaming platform right now. But yeah, so I was just, you know, going through like finding a balance between original music and covers, and I kind of just got burnt out. And I'm still burnt out off covers. Like people hit me all the time like, you should cover this, and I'm like, I'll do it when I'm called to, but it's not something I'm gonna force myself to do anymore, because I don't ever want to grow resentment towards what I love to do. And I feel like that's what covers was doing to me, like, you know, so
and then so picking up from there, when I do see you resurface, I see you a lot more. What I'm seeing is a lot more grassroots in the garage with your ukulele.
Yes.
like,
Yes.
like very like zenned out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not really caring if you really fuck with this. This is more just so what I was feeling. Like, what is the inspiration or behind
Really
it?
just like I went from paying for studio time for those few covers that were like good quality, and it's like, why am I doing this for songs that are not mine? You know what I mean? So I just started doing covers, you know, wherever I wanted to, wherever I could, and then I started traveling a lot. 2017, at the end of 2017, I came to Atlanta for the first time, and we street performed, and I had an amazing time. I got co-signed by a few really dope people, and they put me on their Instagram live, and I grew a lot of followers out here, and I was able to come out here for shows, and I was getting booked for shows. So a lot of that is just like not really wanting to, you know, I'm an independent artist. I've never been signed. I have a management team, but that's you know, that's recent. And at that time, I was doing it all on my own. So really just trying to like make it shake without spending all my money on things that weren't really like gonna serve me in the future. You know what I mean? So just travel. At that time, I was just focused on like traveling, networking. I was in New York, Atlanta, and Miami, like a lot. Yeah, I was definitely on that gypsy life. Like we was out there traveling and just like couch surfing, and you know, it was dope. I wouldn't trade for the world. It definitely like I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't know Jazz. I wouldn't know Bree. You know, it's just dope. All the people that it's introduced me to
Facts.
that part of my life.
So how has if at all, because I don't know the intricacies of your team now. So from let's put you in the studio Canada cover to how your world operates now. How important and how have you found and built your team around what you're trying to do now?
Well, in 2018, I did the Afropunk Battle of the Bands, and I was a finalist. And on the semifinals, there was a DJ, and she just reached out to me and was like, no matter what, if you win, go to the finals or not, I want to like link up. I think you're dope. You have something special, and I just want to talk to you. And we ended up linking up, and she had never managed anybody before. I'd never been managed before, and I was actually one who approached her on some like, would you ever manage an artist? You know, she was working at Sony at the time. She just had a good ear for music, and we linked up a few times, kept in touch. She ended up getting me like a few placement opportunities just off the love, and so eventually I was just like, what's up, what you trying to do? And she was just like, you know, I've never done this before, but if you want to try it, let's try it. And so for 2 years we did that, and I was always in New York. Like she really like helped me expand in New York, and you know, I dropped a few more songs, and I was just really trying to like expand my live performance repertoire and like make sure I was, you know, not doing so much street performing and more so getting in these venues. And so she definitely helped me out with, you know, it's all about who you know, and she had a different network than me. So that was really important. And then, you know, I went on tour 2019, and then fast forward to 2020, we added another woman on board who she had worked with previously, and she was more so, you know, she was more so a helping hand to us, and I'm trying not to say people's names just because it's, you know, but she ended up, the second person that we started working with ended up working with a management team, and it was a small team. It was very like a up and coming sort of thing. But they liked my music, and we needed more help because my OG was just getting busy with she had real life stuff to do too. This wasn't everything she's doing. She works in the music industry. And so we needed help so that the roles and the delegations could be spread out. And so that happened in March of last year. And it's, obviously 2020 was just quiet for everybody. But 2021, I came and dropped my first song in a year next fall. And so just having different ears on the team is just like, it is essential because, 2 sets of ears is dope. But when you're working with people who like, have worked with other people and seen things work, and like, I have a goal of getting a distribution deal, and there are other artists has the same exact outline of the deal that I want. You're gonna listen to these people, kind of. I obviously have to keep my my style, but
artistic integrity.
Yes, and they know that, and they give me total freedom because they're my management team. I'm not signed to a label, but just having people in my corner who do have a bigger network, a stronger network, and who is, they're all just, the goal is to just get my music out there. So I think it's very vital when you're at a point where you can't keep up with everything yourself, where you can't reach out to all these people yourself. And I think that there's a specific time when an artist needs a management team. And I think I played that out perfectly. I did it on my own for a really long time. So it's nice to have people who you can rely on and, just be like, hey, I need this. Can you help me out?
I think from my seat, because I think being the engineer producer that's in the room all the time, from trying to get it out the mud and pull up to my house artist to label deal, budget, best studio in the world. Like they're all, it's the storyline. I've seen the story play out time and time again, and it's like everybody's like, oh, I need management. And then I've heard managers just like, well, what do you have to manage? Like you need something to manage in order to need a manager, which is real. And I don't think a lot of artists, I think, which I'm gonna talk to you about this offline.
Yeah.
But I want to put together, like, in a sense, like a industry summit.
I like that.
Where we kind of like better define like the operating roles of what a team looks like.
Yes.
Like some people think they need a manager when they need a whatever it is, a creative director or something.
Because they're not that. Like,
you know what I mean?
They're not that. Management is not a lawyer. Management is not, you know what I'm saying?
There's so many other different roles.
And I've learned that too, because I'm not working with people who have been doing this for forever. I'm working with people who have had really good luck in the few situations that they've had because they worked hard, and it's more so of us all growing together. So it's a different situation.
Which is the bit, that's my favorite.
I love it.
Me and Bree talk about that all the time. It's our biggest thing is networking across versus networking up. Which Issa Rae.
I love that. I love her.
So Issa Rae, I don't know if she tweeted or she was in an interview one time. She was like, her biggest thing and her advice to most creatives, up and coming creatives, is make sure you're networking across versus trying to network up. And like most people are like, oh, I want a deal, I want to work with Sony, or I want to work with such and such.
Like I've been in the Sony building, and we got to pick out records, and it's like it's cool, but and when she was showing my stuff to the A&Rs there, they was like, what's up, you trying to get a deal? And me and my OG is just like, nah, that's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to show you like what's good, because these are her coworkers. At the end of the day, a deal wasn't what we were looking for.
Right.
And so it's just all about timing, and it's all about, are you willing to like go years with this team without seeing not results, but some people be like, all right, I got a management. They better make me famous this year. No, that's not how it works.
No, not at all.
I mean, it could work for you in that, if I wanted a record deal right now, we could make that happen. That's just not what I want to do. Right now, I can't say I will never want a record deal, but right now, distribution is the goal. So I think just like in my specific scenario, I'm just super blessed to have people who have worked so hard to get to where they are and are able to start their own and include me. I'm excited to be a part of what they have going on, and I feel like every artist should weigh all their options before they just decide they need a management or a deal or whatever, because it's not free to have a management. Let's just be real. They're not just doing it for free. They're getting paid every time I'm getting paid. So you got to just take account, and you got to make sure that you're ready for whatever you signing up for.
Yeah, and I think a big part in what I've seen from your success and what I value in mine and our friend circle is like understanding the value in raw talent. Like
we're surrounded by
understanding that, but I mean understanding and being able to see that and grow with it in real time. Like to see your first cover to you, I don't know at what point you met Ari. To Ari is now Lil Yachty's videographer.
It's
and
nuts.
Like, you know what I mean? But and the quality matches the time invested. Like
he's been working at it since he was like 5 years old.
Right. And then it's like, right. And it's like people look up and they're like, oh, I gotta get somebody with this quality and stuff. And it's like I'm not gonna say the only reason, but it's like the main reason that you have that quality is because you grew with somebody who didn't have that quality, and now like they had a vision, and now their quality matches their vision.
Like it's crazy. I mean, if you don't know who we're talking about, AMD Visuals.
Yeah, AMD Visuals. Shout out to my guy.
Shout out to him, man. He we're both named Ari too, so that was a little.
Yeah, that was.
I call him Adi. Because that way we just because we were like, Ari, and we're like, huh? On set, that's very confusing.
Right.
But Ari was definitely like, he hit me up trying to make music. Actually, that's how we actually connected. He produces as well. Yeah. And then I saw that he had a red cam. I was like, he probably got some quality footage too. And he came out around the time I was in New York for Afropunk, and then so we just kept. I think we did like 3 videos together, and on the 3rd video, he was like, this is probably the last time we're going to be able to work for a while, and because he had moved to Atlanta and did an internship at Camp Kirk, and, he put that work in. He was interning. I don't know if people know what that means, but you working for free.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I came up, I came up on an internship.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did, and so, a lot of people think he just got it easier. No, he put in work. He moved here, he was like 20 or 19, 20, just moved from Miami. And he told me that, I would always have to fly him. So, like, I would always have to fly him wherever I'm at, or I would have to come, here. And I remember him telling me, like, yeah, Yachty wants me to be his videographer. Like, and I was like, what? Like, because it's just so cool to see somebody come from, like, just doing it because they love it to really making it a living, like, and making it what they do for a living, because he has been doing it for a living, but now he's getting his flowers, and I hope he gets more and more because he deserves it. So that's just an example of watching hard work pay off. Right, exactly. It's crazy.
I think keeping it with that same mindset, like what would you say is the compared to 8 years ago, Ari Chi, to 2022. I'm still getting comfortable with saying 2022. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still stuck in 2019 because I feel like nothing's really happened. Like 2019 was like, yes, and then 2020, I was about to go on a tour, and then I was like, yeah. So it's like, I mean.
But the difference, the 8 years ago to now, what is the redefinition or redefined success look like for you?
Redefining success looks like making good art with my homies. It looks like, collaborating more, because I did a lot of my stuff by myself for so long, and music included, you know. I'm still getting comfortable with like not being so hands-on with production, because I'm realizing that in order to grow, you have to have other people involved in that as an artist. Yeah, I play instruments, but ukulele doesn't have to be on every song. I'm learning these things. So redefining success for me is just being able to do what I love, make a living off of it, and to eventually be able to, you know, travel the world and be on all types of stages, because I got a taste of that, and I want to make sure. Obviously, it's hard to do that right now, but I have hope that soon it will be available for all of us that have been waiting. And right now, I'm just focusing on writing. I recently moved to Atlanta, and I've been just locked in with the boys. We're just writing. We're writing hits, and we're trying to get those placed, and we will get
Big
those
hits.
placed.
By the way, I might have heard to my knowledge, the only trapped out auto-tune song from Ari Chi,
Yes.
which is fire in its own right. Like, I know that's not your steez, but the girl can do it. If she wanted any of y'all lane, I'm just letting you know that
it's a struggle though. It's a struggle when you're, and it sounds crazy, but it's a struggle when you're good at making so many different types of music, but you have a specific vision for what you want to release. It's almost harder than if it was like, all right, I'm just good at this, and this is just what I'm good at, and it's what I'm gonna do. Right. It's like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, we've had that conversation.
Yes, I mean, you already know, and so it's an evolution, and I'm glad that you've been a part of it. You know, I don't know if they know, but you've had your hands on a lot of my favorite songs, and it's gonna stay that way. So
I appreciate it. What was it? Oh, I didn't ask you this earlier. I wanted to ask you this. I meant to ask you this earlier, so it makes sense chronologically. We're probably gonna have to edit it and put it earlier. How and why ukulele?
Man, easy. I wanted to play guitar. I bought guitar. Actually, my dad got me a guitar for Christmas or something. And I had just started high school, and I rode the school bus still, and there was no time for me to practice because I was waking up at 5 a.m, catching the school bus, going to school, getting home, doing homework, going to sleep, like, you know, basic high school stuff. Right. But I saw a ukulele in the mall somewhere, and I was like, it's like a little guitar. What the hell? And I went and I started playing.
That was your first time seeing the ukulele?
I was like, what? I mean, I saw it on SpongeBob. It was a cartoon, though. So I'm like, oh, it's just a little guitar. And I just remember being like, whoa, that's dope. And then a homie named Joy, she had got a ukulele, and she would just play songs all the time in class, because I went to a magnet program, so I only had like 3 academics each year of high school, and then everything else was like practice periods or music, you know, very, very chill. So I had a lot of time during the school day to practice. It was just that who's going to bring a guitar on a school bus and like carry it all the way around. And so I saw her playing it, bringing it. We would all sing songs and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, I want a ukulele for Christmas. So I told my mom, she got me one. She got me a black one. And then we had this rocking chair, and I had like left it on the floor, and it like, I think she sat down and like it broke. So I was devastated. And then she got me a green one. And that's why I got the green one tatted, because it was the first one that I like learned on. And I started just bringing it everywhere I went. Like, you would not see me without it. It was just, if I didn't have it, you didn't see that. Like, there's like no reason. And so, yeah, like 10th, 11th, and 12th grade was spent just playing ukulele like all the time. Anytime I would walk around, because there was a point, after I graduated, there was a point where I was like living downtown St. Pete, so I would walk everywhere. Still had it, didn't have a case because it was so tiny, and just people would be like, "Hey, play that," and I'd play and sing. Like I got my practice. And I got people always ask me why I don't have stage fright, never did. Was because I have always been performing for anybody who asked me to do it, because it was like what I love to do. Mm-hmm. So that's why I picked ukulele, because it was just convenient. And then I realized there was like really high quality ukuleles out there, and ones that have a plug-in, and so it was like, why switch to guitar at this point? Because I love to do it. And I mean, they're still. Don't get me wrong, I have guitars and I try to play them. But it is harder. I'm a singer. Ukulele was a tool for me to be able to sing without having to sing over other songs or look up backing tracks. So really, I don't consider myself a ukulele player. I mean, I do, and I got a lot better at it, but essentially it was...
so to get a whole endorsement.
Yeah.
So how do you not call yourself a ukulele player?
I mean, people always look at me crazy when I say that, but the whole point of playing the ukulele started so I can sing my ass off anytime I wanted to. It was about singing. It's always been about singing. And so, and then I was blessed enough to get sponsored by Kala, and they showed me so much love, and I found the baritone ukulele because I really do love the sound of the guitar. And the nylon strings on a ukulele is just a lot more like high pitched and like beachy sounding. And so I found out that there's a baritone ukulele that has 2 brass strings like the guitar and 2 nylon. And so it's a good mix of ukulele sound, guitar sound, and it's bigger. It's like pretty big. And so they sent me one of those, and I took that on tour, and I have not put that version down since. Like, they sent me all types of ukuleles, but that's the one that I play. So it evolved to, a ukulele about this big to now I'm playing a pretty big ukulele. And then it sounds like guitar. So it's dope. I mean, it's the best of both worlds, and I can't say I won't ever, dabble with guitar, but I mean, ukulele's my thing. I prefer playing ukulele and having one of the homies who will shred the guitar come play with me. I mean, there's no point for me to be like, all right, let me pick up this guitar, because I know so many talented guitarists, and it's not my passion. I'm a big advocate on, if it's not passionate, if you're not passionate about it, don't do it. I mean, try it out, but if it's, I have guitars laying all over the house, I don't play them because it's not what I want to do.
Right. I feel that. Hey, I think I think that goes into what Bree and I defined what our 2022 mantra was going to be. And this year we've been focusing on content, consistency, collaboration.
Yes.
It's the 3 C's that
That's
we came
amazing.
with.
I might have to steal that.
No, but seriously, like I've been that's what I've been preaching. Like
y'all been doing great.
Like Gunna been pushing P. I'm pushing C. I'm pushing C. Content, consistency, collaboration, and I think what you were just saying is keen in knowing when and how to collaborate. Because like you, myself, is when you're a jack of all trades, right? When there's like many different things that you probably could be in your own right a professional at, if you just put the time and dedication into and energy into that. It's like, how do you focus on one thing and doing everything yourself because you're a jack of all trades for so long?
Yeah.
What does collaboration look like? I just started collaborating with other producers like
awesome.
End of last year.
Yeah, I mean,
and I hope, like, we talking a decade career, and less than 3 months ago I started collaborating with other producers, and it's like I don't even know. There's so much
in due time.
Yeah, I collaborated in college a little bit, but it's like collaborating doesn't even look the same now. Like I'm like, all right, dang, you can sync Ableton sessions with somebody else. And
I don't even know what you talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's
all
a whole
I know is y'all be making it happen. Y'all be making it happen.
Right.
Like,
But I say that to say how you were saying like certain things that you're just not passionate about, and you have to you have to be real with yourself and recognize those things. And I feel like that's the biggest. I don't want to say biggest. I feel like that's a telltale sign of when and how to collaborate.
Yes.
So there's certain things where it's like you might be capable of figuring it out, but in those situations, it's kind of like instead of me, I can figure out some guitar chords. Okay, cool. Let me not figure out some guitar chords.
Right.
Let me use this.
Somebody
Yeah, let me use this.
snap.
Yeah, let me use this opportunity to collaborate. Let me make this better than what I can just do it by myself. Because by myself, I can just get it done.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't want to discourage people from trying, because I think if you're picking it up and you're doing it, it's a passion of yours. And like, but for me, I've learned, because I play piano, I can do drums. Like, I used to teach kids. So I know a basic level of a lot of these instruments. It's about, you know, being in love with ukulele. It's not about, because my dad's always like, why you don't play guitar? I'm like, because I don't want to. And that is a good enough answer.
Right.
Like, we do not have to do everything that everybody wants. Creatives are put under so much pressure. Like, you know, I'm a looping artist. I don't post a lot of that. And that is one thing that I do want to do. But the passion is on stage in front of people. So, like, content, there's a block there for me, because it's like, yeah, I know it's what we should be doing, but it's like, it's hard for me to like set up that camera and play the same way that I would in a room full of people. So there's a disconnect for me, and I'm trying to figure that out. But I can't put too much pressure on myself, because it's like, you know, there's a happy medium. Yes, we have to do some things that we don't want to do to get what we want. And it's just about deciphering what's what, you know, so. Pick up the guitar if you want to pick it up.
I think my philosophy and train of thought on it is the Prince philosophy. Prince was always big on knowing every aspect of the music industry.
Yes.
So even if that's not your job, you should know what that job does.
Yes.
So that that you can hold everybody that's doing it for you accountable. Like, I don't play guitar, but I can hear guitar, and I know how guitar operates well enough to articulate what I want a guitar player to do. Or if they're not doing what I want them to do, then all right, well, how do we find this happy medium? Like, how do I get the best out of you? And how can I push you as well as you're making me better? Like, I want to be able to make everybody around me better, as well as me becoming better from the situation. So that's what collaboration is doing for me going forward.
I love that.
That's how I'm looking at it, and our collaborations fire.
I can't wait till the world. I mean, you know, it's a process. Thank you for being so patient with me. But it's gonna be worth it when the world hears. It's gonna be worth it. I definitely, you know, everything I'm working on, so just know it's coming.
Hot fire. Before I let you get up out of here, there is one question that I'm trying to ask everybody. So, what would you say is your most valuable habit?
My valuable habit? That's a good one. My most valuable habit is surrounding myself with people who create. That is something that I get energy from. Energy is huge for me. So, you know, some people might look at it as, oh, she just hang out with her friends all the time. But little do they know, my friends are talented as fuck. So it's like, yeah, we might play FIFA for a second, but we gonna go down to the studio and get some work done. We're gonna come up with ideas. We're gonna smoke and fucking start talking about all these crazy ideas and then bring them to life. You know, it's so just I like, you know, I like my alone time, but I do really like to be surrounded by people who are on the same wavelength when it comes to creativity. So that is it.
And my second part of that same question, with knowing your most valuable habit, going through everything that you've been through, what would you say has been your caffeine to keep you like, all right, because we've all had those moments of like, I might just
do this. I mean, shoot, I can't say
if you could pinpoint like what that motivating factor or factors, if it was more than one, was for you.
Definitely my partner, Brody. He's like very supportive, but he sees the vision, and he's in the friend group regardless of if we was together or not. And just art, like, art inspires me. I'm not a dancer, but when I see somebody dance, it's like it inspires me. So my caffeine is being able to observe other people in their element and let it inspire me to continue to keep going, because if I was only surrounded by musicians, that would be cool, but that's not the case. My partner is an amazing painter. I got to see his entire painting career come into fruition, and engineers and videographers. So I think my caffeine and what's helped me keep going is that I'm inspired daily by who I surround myself with. So that's why, that's a good habit to have, and it is valuable, because it's just I can't see myself not. And that's why Atlanta is so dope to be in Atlanta. I've never lived in the same city as my creative team, so it's dope. Like we never have lived in the same city. Right. Me and Adi have never lived in the same city, and being here with Brody, it's just dope. So I think that is our caffeine, just observing other art forms and collecting inspiration to fuel what we want to give to the world.
I respect it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for coming through. Dropped a couple gems in there. I know I might have to pick them out for like micro content.
Heck yeah.
I appreciate you for coming out.
No, thank you for having me.
Can't wait for this hot fire.
I can't wait either. And I need some production too. Just saying.
Coming soon. Coming very soon. Where can the people find you?
Just type in Ari Chi, ARI space CHI. It's the easiest way to find me. Any search bar.
Cool. Just Google me.
Something like that.
I ain't even gonna tell you what social media.
If you do want to handle it, it's Ari Chi, ITSARICHI.
Just that.
Yeah,
just
fuck
Google
that. You know what I'm saying?
ARI space CHI. Put it in Google.
It's me.
Yeah. Shout out to Emil Coffee, official sponsor of Caffeine and Creatives podcast and show. Yes, plush pillow.
Comfy, you know what I'm saying?
Comfy, doing it big. This has been Caffeine and Creatives. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Caffeine and Creatives. That's spelled all the way out. And on YouTube, that is CNC Network. I'm gonna make sure I put that somewhere in this.
Right here.
So shout out to my guy Fisher behind the cameras. Shout out to the whole team making this possible. We're out of here. Yep. I appreciate y'all.
Dope.